Hey again, it's another RekStarcraft cast. I'm on like a cast-stravaganza. That's what it would be called. It's an extravaganza of casting. This one is gonna be the Zerg player Rekatan. Oh snap. And the Zerg player LEGOMAN. I decided I'd cast one of my own cases of getting my ass kickeried. It's another nice made-up term. Actually, this was because I had some people who are like, you haven't uploaded any of you losing yet. And that's actually it's because I've won every game I've live cast. I don't know why. Recording is good luck, I guess. So I'm like, well, crap, let's go ahead and do one of the ones that I haven't recorded. And I actually have not been live casting at all because live casting plus laggy connection equals hard. So that math is flawless, and as a result, I've had to stop live casting until the lag is up because it's hard enough just to keep up with ladder matches with this lag, let alone trying to live cast it. So this was one of the recent games I played, and it was because of during the lag, but honestly, I don't think my loss was anything related to that. Maybe it did impact my gameplay a bit, but I would be willing to bet most of its impact was psychological. Because for some reason when I'm lagging, I tilt a bit. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm lagging. Grit my teeth, angry. So, anyways, I get raffle stomped, and let's see why. So, I'm opening up with a 3-3 split. This is good. Typically when you see a 3-3 split, it means you're going to see an opener something similar to a fruit dealer opener. You know, fruit dealer likes his 3-3 splits, and it's nothing like an Hydra opener where you have a 2-2-2 split, and you're going to see a totally different metagame. You know, by the 20 minutes, the 2-2-2 split results in, you know, a heavy macro play, whereas a 3-3 split tends to, you know, be more favored for all ends. And please don't take me seriously. I'm going to get someone who's like, dude, what are you talking about? It has no impact at all, because it has no impact at all. But I have nothing to talk about right now, except for, you know, splitting. And actually, there is one thing I can mention. Someone called this mineral doubling, and I'm really not sure if that's the term for it. You deliberately try to get drones on the closest mineral fields, and I've been working on it, and it's actually kind of cool. It can actually benefit you quite a bit. I've been watching on the replay analyzer, and I didn't do it too much on this because it's hard to do when you're lagging, but give it a try sometime. You deliberately force drones onto these closer mineral fields, and it keeps them from bouncing around a lot, and it also has a shorter travel distance by optimizing which ones they travel to. So for example, this one, and this one, and to a lesser degree this one, are the ones I would want to have doubled. And if you do it properly, you're going to have like 8 drones, and 2 on that one, 2 on that one, 2 on that one, 2 on that one. And it's kind of interesting. It's a neat little trick you'll see the Koreans do a lot in the GSL. Also, Jinro does it. He was kind of one of the first guys I saw doing it. And actually, EVOMind first opened my eyes to the awesomeness of mineral doubling. Now, here's where we see I'm kind of out of my element. I do not like to hatch first in ZVZ. And I see, oh, he's not top, he's not bottom. Crap, I have to hatch first. Why do I have to hatch first? Because this is a long-ass travel distance. And I really have not been succeeding much with my one-base play, ZVZ, in this long travel distance. So I'm like, you know, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. So already we see in production tab, he's slightly ahead of me because he's in his zone. We can probably assume that he's more comfortable than me at hatch first because I am terrible at it. So I'm doing a little scouting here, and I'm just making sure that he is indeed doing what I suspected. It's very rare at master level that they won't hatch first in these positions. If they don't, you kind of feel kind of cool about it because you're like, oh, sweet, I can play defensive, and he's at a big disadvantage. So, starting up my gas, and I actually have no reliable timing for my gas for a hatch first because that is how unpracticed I am with it. So this is 100% experimental on my part. And nothing to talk about. Oh, make sure you do this with your overlords. So the first overlord goes down here, and then you're going to default just move it up to here. And that is because you want to go ahead and prep it in case he is indeed at this location. And then your second overlord will go here. So that's always nice to do. You're just making sure you've got all your bases covered to where you make sure you always have an overlord outside their base. And you know, I don't even remember what I do this game. So this is going to be pretty cool. And I remember I remember how I lost, I'll tell you that much. I don't rage much, but this one had me frustrated because I felt so outplayed. And I really did get outplayed. It makes me sad. But that's why you experiment on ladders, so that you can get outplayed and learn from the mistakes. So here, why am I attacking? That's why. Because I wanted to get some Zerglings into his base. Scouting is super, super important. I saw he's starting Metabolic Boost. I saw he's pulling gas. Now this is my mistake. I did not notice he's pulling gas. I did not use my information correctly. He pulled gas, and I should be going, Banelings, Banelings, Banelings. I should be singing the damn Baneling song right now. But what am I doing? I'm letting my Roach Warren finish? Come on, Josh. You're dumb. Yeah, I talked to myself. So I'm letting my Roach Warren finish, because I'm a Herpaderp. And so what this is doing is it's playing into his 2-base Speedling. Roach Warren for a little while is going to be at a big disadvantage till it gets critical mass. And if he hits the proper timing, I'm not going to be able to do much about the Speedlings, which are inevitable because he just pulled off of gas. I mean, he could be using them to drone up, but we see here, holy crap, he is indeed going 2-base Speedling for a little bit. And if I had gone Baneling, which my, hindsight 2020 tells me to do, then he's going to walk into a Raffle Stomp. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So here we see my 4 Roaches are about to crap themselves because they have 30 Speedlings barreling down on them. Actually, they have 45 Speedlings barreling down on them. OMG. Yeah, this is bad. So I'm going to pick off a few because I'm awesome like that. Maybe bait him into trying to run by. That's exactly what that was. I'm like, yeah, you can run by. No, you can't. And this is me just minimizing losses. But let's face it, I am super duper duper behind because he has now forced me onto 1 base. I've lost 350 minerals here from losing a drone for the hatchery and the hatchery itself. And now he is in a great macro position, but I'm actually ahead on drones because he made so many Zerglings and I went Roaches. And my Baneling nest is done, guys. 2 minutes late. But that's okay, because I'm a champ, and I'm going to keep playing it up, because I'm the best around. Yeah, that was a really, really bad attempt at singing. So the Speedlings are back, and he's just trying to keep some harass going. And actually, this is a bit of a critique on Blue LEGOMAN. He could have kept a Speedling out here, just kind of patrolled it, danced it back and forth, and kept a better eye on whether I was expanding. And he was trying to kind of blindly punish me for rebuilding my hatchery, but I'm like, ha ha, I'm floating 600 minerals, but I won't remake my hatchery, because I used to do this too. Actually, I still do this, but I've kind of wandered away from Speedling-based Zerg versus Zerg because Banelings eat it alive. And so this is good. He's cutting off my access to Xel'Nagas. He's getting map control. And I'm stuck in 1 base, and so naturally what I'm going to be doing is trying to A, figure out a way to reestablish 2-base play and restabilize my macro compared to his, but B, I want to punish the fact that he has so many Speedlings. Even if he switches over from Speedlings, he has 40 in play right now. So it's not a bad idea to go for a Baneling Roach push right now. I'm in a desperate place, and if he doesn't transition out of Speedlings in time, this Baneling Roach push could be pretty awesome. So I actually should be getting centrifugal hooks, but I'm not, because I'm very, very gas-starved, so this was kind of a catch-22. And in this case, I think it maybe was the right choice. But here we go. I am rolling out, and he does not have a Speedling outside, so I'm feeling pretty awesome now. This is the kind of thing where I could do some damage if he doesn't see it in time. But we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. And if we look at the unit count, it's looking pretty good for me. I don't know this, but I know that he's got only 40 Speedlings against my 12 Banelings, 10 Roaches, and 19 Slowlings. So, not too bad, except for I don't move out. What am I doing? I'm just sitting here, kind of scared. And my thinking is, okay, if I leave, he's going to run by, and that sucks. But truth be told, the best thing that could happen to me right now is a very, very nice base trade. If we base trade and I can hide my drones in the right places, I can gimmick my way to success, Marine King Prime style. If you watched his GSLs recently, he played the most gimmicky bullshit I've ever seen, and I loved it because he won against superior opponents. Let's face it, superior opponents. But he was creative, he was on the fly about it, whatever descriptor I can think of, and it was fun to watch. And I could have done that here, but he did not choose to base trade me, and so really I could have moved out a while ago and been in good shape. But instead, all these Roaches are up, all these reactive Speedlings, Spine Crawlers are up. I'm sure those spines were made reactively. And so instead of crushing him with a hard counter of Baneling Roach, I am instead, hampering him slightly. Maybe. Might not even pay for my losses because I hesitated. I hesitated going, I need this roach wall. And actually, these roaches should be up there too, because at this point, desperate times call for desperate measures. So don't half-ass it. Don't hesitate and do something poorly. If you're all in, all in. But I tried to all in and go, well, I want to preserve my base. I want to make sure we don't trade. I want to make sure there's no run-bys. And that's not good. I could have just easily all in with a few drones running alongside my roaches to then extractor around the map and see if I can win that base trade. And that's a pretty good gamble for how behind I was. But instead, I half-assed my all-in, and look at all these idle roaches. Really, 16 roaches over there would have changed things a lot. And leaving 2 minutes earlier, would have changed things in a big way. There would not be, oh god, so many, 5 spines. And there would not have been all these roaches. In fact, he didn't even have roaches when my roach baneling composition was formed. The banelings were already done, and I could have just moved out and gotten there before any roaches finished, and probably have just taken the game if he didn't base trade me. But hindsight's 20/20, and that's what this is all about. So, how do I respond to this? Let's look at income. 44 drones to 22 drones. And this is what happens when you all in without actually alling in, without committing to it. The all-in fails, and you've lost without knowing it. I feel like I could still win this, but I couldn't. You know, I thought I did more drone damage than I did. And a player like Hydra, who's we criticize him for it, but he's very good at evaluating the situation. He would have GG'd by now. And he GG's too early. I will be the first to say it. But he's also very good at understanding when he's too far behind for it to be worth tilting over. And so I really do think some of it is him just maintaining his mental state. But I play it to the bitter end. And so that's what I'm doing here. And this game, make no mistake about it, it is 99.9% over. Barring some crazy mistake on LEGOMAN's part, like move-clicking everything into my base. I cannot turn this around. You just don't get this far behind in ZVZ. 30 drones behind, 33 drones behind, and make anything of it. It's just, if you're equal skilled players, it's just not going to happen. But I'm going to go for some trickery, very late trickery. I love my mid-game infestor play. I love playing it very heavy, but where's my extractors? Well, unfortunately, I can't afford 2 more extractors because I'm only at 30 drones on 2 bases. And so, this is just kind of a collapse here. You know I should be droning up, but I'm scared to drone up because I know he's probably got a bajillion roaches. And now my overseer sees, oh god, a third, and it's well saturated. Oh, this is getting really scary. And I'm realizing, wow, this is just all but over. And in fact, rewatching it, I'm getting sad. I gotta say, this is bumming me out. I want to just go, 2x speed, let's get through this ASAP. But that would defeat the purpose of watching this. I can't exactly consider myself a worthwhile caster if I can cast other people's crushing losses but not my own, right? So, I'll stick it through. You just may hear me sound a little suicidal by the end of it. Because this is a game, but I take it seriously. This is life. So, what am I trying to do here to keep this going? I'm at 50% of his income, but I'm trying to get my infestor trickery rolling. So by now, yes, indeed, I have infestors producing. But wait, I have 2 infestors producing to his 5 infestors and 4 roaches. And that is what happens when you get so far behind. And just think, what could have been different had I all-in when I knew I needed to all-in? Maybe I was rolling the dice. Maybe I was only giving myself a 40% chance of winning. But that 40% chance is a hell of a lot better than the 0.001% chance I have now. And that is something a lot of people need to realize. Don't all in too early. Don't all in when you could still take the game with better probabilities of winning a macro game, just capitalizing on one little mistake. But there, where I'd prepped an all in, I knew I wanted to all in, and then I didn't commit to it, well, that just threw it all out. You know, that threw away a very, very reasonable chance of winning. And anyone who's watched me a lot, they know that I do like to go all in. I do like to cut my losses and say, you know, this is my probability. It's like poker in my mind. There's a certain point where you can look at it and go, you know, if I keep playing on a macro game, I've got a 10% chance of success. But if I all in right now, when I know he's going heavy macro, I've got a 35% chance of success. And those aren't hard numbers. You can't know beyond a shadow of a doubt, but you can get a rough idea. And so, Mega tangent. Moral of the story, exactly what I said before, TLDR. Make sure that if you're gonna all in, you commit to it. This could have been a 10-minute game if I would have committed to that all in, and then I would maybe be casting a win. Maybe not, but at the very least, I would have committed to my all in, which is what you should always do. So, we're going to continue watching the rest of this as a formality. And I'm taking my third to his almost completed gold fourth, and his third that clearly has been up forever since it was so well saturated. What is our income looking like? Well, I'm actually catching up on income pretty well, because he's probably been prepping a massive roach army, and my income's about to get dwarfed by his gold. So I know I need to move out here soon and just hope he makes a mega huge mistake. And so what am I going to do? Well, I'm probably going to do just that. And I'm actually prepping burrow move. Why? Because you can actually pull off some sneakiness with burrow move, but it takes very, very careful timing. You can kind of fungal, catch him out of position, unburrow around him, and be like, oh, I'm so cool, and just get like 10 roaches sniped for no losses. You can pull off that stuff, and it takes some desperate things like that when you're this far behind. So I had the right idea at this stage of the game. I just should have never let it get to this stage of the game. This is similar to a player trying Baneling Mines when they're behind in a ZVT. It's that kind of desperation play. It's a Hail Mary pass, and once in a while, it's gonna work. So let's see how I manage it, though, because it really all hinges on management and your opponent's reaction to it, whether they even suspect it, like whether they drop that critical scan when you're in the middle of, or when they're coming up to banelings, or whether they keep an overseer with their army in this case. But let's see how I manage. I'm moving out. Wait, what am I doing? I remember this. Why did I move out without my infestors? Oh dear God! And why did I move out before burrow move was done? Burrow move is not done yet. What am I doing? I had no idea what I was doing at this stage of the game. I was so tilted, and I made poor decisions based on that. So at this point, I'm playing it out as a formality. You know, I could have GG'd at this point, and it would have been perfectly justifiable, but I just feel obligated to play it out a bit. So I goof around with some burrow play, you know, because I got it, I might as well use it. And that is that. So it all falls down to that one critical thing that I could have done differently, which is committing to my all-in. And, you know, here at the end, I definitely should have waited for burrow move. We notice there's no overseer, so I could have maybe pulled something off, but I doubt it, because if we go back, let's just take a look at army size. Not as bad as I thought. 167 to 196, and army size is pretty close because a lot of his advantage is in drones. Okay, so maybe I could have done something here. I would have had to have had a hell of a counter push to capitalize on it and at least eliminate this gold, preferably eliminate his third. But waiting for burrow move could have done something because he forgot his overseer. Big whoops on his part. But I wasn't thinking. So make sure when you're in a rough game and you know every mistake or every move you're making is wrong, I guess if you can take anything from this, don't get tilted mid-game. And that's what I did. I was lagging, and I made some dumb mistakes, and all sorts of things were frustrating the crap out of me. So I tilted, and I just started like, whatever, let's attack, move my roaches into fog of war and see what happens. Despite the fact that I was deliberately getting burrow and burrow move, and I love playing with burrow move infestor roaches. It's so fun, but I didn't do it. So what's the point of getting it? So try and take that from this, guys. If you get tilted, make sure you kind of focus yourself, get all zen on it, and be like, dude, I got to start to focus and playing deliberately. So I guess that's about all I can really kind of convey about this game. There was, you know, an overwhelming number of mistakes, and I'm sure a lot of other people will be more than happy to point them out. So feel free to. I'm always happy to see them. Just be, you know, kind, be gentle, because this one's a sore spot for me. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.